John Fitzpatrick, Secretary General of the Geneva Association, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. The Geneva Association has just issued a report on the public pensions crisis in the US. Can you tell us a bit about the situation that's precipitated the report?
Well, clearly what precipitates it is the underfunding of pension plans and the effect this has had on municipal finances. And so we see it as a combination of the very, very short duration of politicians generally and election cycles versus the very, very long duration that pension funds exist. And the politics of municipalities often makes it difficult for the politicians to actually achieve changes to pension plans to make them more sustainable. It becomes clear, particularly in small and medium-sized municipalities, that there's a need for better governance of these pension plans themselves, that you need experts in managing assets and understanding the dynamic nature of the liabilities, the longevity risks that are embedded. These are the kinds of people you want to have on a pension plan as a trustee. And I think increasingly states and municipalities will appoint people who are fit and proper to be trustees of such plans. The Geneva Association clearly would call for more research into how do you optimize the finances of a municipality. In other words, how do you optimize the tax rate that you can charge to taxpayers and employers in a jurisdiction without causing them to leave? And how do you more efficiently deliver services that the taxpayers really need to operate in your area? And you have to do this at a very cheap cost. So if you can get that in a better balance, you have much more of an opportunity to have a sustainable municipality. It's very clear that there have been circumstances of pension funds having fairly high costs and inefficient operations in and of themselves due to the fact that there isn't professional management in all cases of small and medium-sized pension plans in municipalities. There have been movements in many other parts of the world, like in London, where there's an effort to see if they can combine the functions of asset management and liability management to reduce costs and improve professional risk management to the pension plan itself, and for that to be a source of, in effect, improved self-financing. The Detroit situation is a very special circumstance. It's the largest municipal bankruptcy in America. It has in its roots the dependency on largely one industry, the auto industry, manufacturing industry. And it also has at its roots the political issues involved in financing a municipality that is dependent on growth. You can't run a municipality in today's world without having new businesses and new industries and a diversified mix of industries in your city. Without that, you're way too dependent on a single industry, as in the case of Detroit, and that is why they've gone bankrupt under a weight of debt and pension debt that other cities have the same circumstances, but they have a more diversified economic base from which to finance. In the broadest way of looking at the solutions here, the Geneva Association has for many years advocated a four-pillar approach, which includes that society needs a government-supplied basic pension, that it needs employer pensions that are based on the economics of the business, but they need to be run in a sustainable way. That won't be enough, those two sources. So individuals need to be encouraged and incentivized to place money into investment products, insurance products that will cause them to save also and contribute to their own retirement. And of course, the fourth pillar that the Geneva Association has always advocated is that we change laws and incentivize employers to keep people employed past their normal retirement dates. That this is a vast source of economic value that is not efficiently tapped and utilized by society today and could help us finance the very large baby boomer group of retirees that are frankly going to have a very thin retirement without employment being part of the picture. So those four pillars in some form of balance give the greatest opportunity for people to, for societies to finance retirement. I think insurance applies in the third pillar, which we've mentioned, which is the providing savings products that are tax advantaged and incentivized for people to save for their own retirement. But insurance also can provide solutions directly to pension plans through ensuring the longevity risk of a pension plan, protecting against the risk of inflation, credit, market risk. There's a number of things that insurance products offered directly to pension funds that would help mitigate and control the costs of pension plans going forward. I believe it is surmountable, but it's not without doubt. It requires policymakers to make the right decisions that promote the economic growth of the country at a pace that can absorb the high level of debt that exists at the federal level, the state level, and the municipal level. And what gives me hope about this is that America has an enormous capacity for entrepreneurial behavior, creating new industries, new products, things that didn't exist before. And this is, if you combine that with the opportunity to become self-sufficient in energy, it gives us the opportunity where foreign companies will invest in the United States, put their factories here because they need a sustainable energy supply for their products to be developed and manufactured. If you combine that, there's a very good opportunity for the United States as a whole to be able to finance its way through this very difficult circumstance. However, it's not without doubt that in local areas where people make the wrong choices, they could struggle and have problems that are similar to Detroit's and to other municipalities that have gone bankrupt in recent times.